Just talk at the normal volume.
Yeah, hello, testing.
No, we'll talk a bit louder than that, I think, so.
Okay.
Hold on, let me sit down as well. Then we'll see. So we'll talk at like this volume because obviously it's further away and we'll see how it sounds.
Yeah, I think that's good.
I won't put it in this time.
Yeah,
maybe.
try not to.
Maybe it is. Who knows? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Let's go. How you doing, guys? What's up? James here. What am I saying? That isn't how I start my videos, is it?
I don't know. How do you
How
start
do
your
I start my
videos?
videos? I just forgot. Hey, what's going on? That's how I start. Hey, what's going on YouTube? James here. Hope you're all doing great. What the hell am I saying?
I don't know.
You're
You're having a coffee moment.
I am. Let me have some more of
Yeah,
my very healthy drink.
You need your energy.
Screw it, let's just start. Who cares?
Yeah.
Welcome to the video. We are going to be covering my dad's collection today because I recently did a state of the collection. You guys loved it. You gave me some great suggestions, and my dad's collection has also changed a lot from when we did the video, which was
July, I believe.
July. Yeah. You had how many pieces then?
11.
11, and now you've got
17.
17. So it's not only got better and more refined, it has also got a little bit bigger, which is always good because that means there's more pieces to look at. One piece isn't with us today. Which one is that?
Yeah, that's the 7A 3A, which is just having a new crystal. So
yeah, so I'll put pictures up on the screen now with that one. That's the 7A38.
The 7020.
7020.
Yeah,
So, because I've got the 7180, and my dad got the other one. It's the white one with the gold highlights, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. It's got the sort of hexagonal
bezel. Yeah. So you guys can see it on screen, but there's going to be a new crystal put in, so that's why it isn't here at the moment. But I'm sure if you go check out my dad's Instagram, which will be in the description, there'll be loads of pictures of it with his crystal. So yeah, go check it out. But today we're going to be covering the rest of his collection, because we spoke about this in the last the talking with the kibbles, which lasted for like an hour. But the point we were trying to get to is that you're now finished with your collection, like you feel finished. Yeah. So there's going to be nothing else added to this apart from one thing you're currently saving for. What is that? Yeah,
that's the Amiga Speedmaster Man on the Moon.
Yeah, and you wanted to save it for the vintage one.
Yeah, I'd like to get as close to 69 as possible. Obviously, depending on savings and I mean, if it's going to take me a bit longer,
so be it.
Then that's the way it's going to be.
Definitely, and I like that. I like that you've got this because I already obviously know where he's got, and we'll change it up in a second and show you guys. But I think the only thing that's missing from your collection is a true Swiss piece. That's literally it. Like you've covered all the different things. I mean, like a true at heart Swiss piece. You know what I mean? Not like a. I think the rotary says Swiss made, but it's not a true Swiss, is it really? You know what I mean? I've had some like the older Auruses. Are they classed as true Swiss? Like, would you call them true Swiss?
Yeah, it is a Swiss brand.
Yeah, of course, but it's like, is it truly Swiss?
Yeah.
That's for another video, who
is.
cares? So there we go. But let's change perspectives and take a closer look at my dad. Okay, so here we go. We have changed perspectives. Now, as I said, one piece is missing from this, and that is the Seiko, the 7A38, which I've shown you pictures of. So just imagine that is in here. And yeah, let's start with the quartz pieces. You've got 3 quartz pieces in your collection. Actually, before we get into this, let's just have a quick question. Why do you collect? What's your reasoning behind collecting these watches?
I love the interest, the history of watches, the complications, and I like the sport-related history as well that the watches bring, and there's just so much variety.
Exactly, yeah, definitely. I've just noticed this is like in size order as well. Like, look.
Right.
All right, and then there's funky colours, but we're going to start with this one. So what is this piece I'm holding right now?
So this is the Casio Edifice, and it's called the number is EF550RB SP1AV.
So a very short reference number, cool. So what's the reasoning behind this piece?
Simply because of the Formula One Red Bull racing. It was issued in 2010 when Red Bull were at the height of their success in Formula One. Yeah, I just love the complication of the piece. It's got a real unusual, lots of depth to the dial, it's just great.
Yeah, it's a great piece. It's a great piece. All right, let's move on to the next one, which has also some racing inspired history. This one, what is this we're looking at?
So this is the Lotus chronograph, and it's made by Lotus Watches. Again, quartz piece, and again, it's got the Formula One heritage. It was issued at Silverstone, at the racetrack, and that's where it was purchased by the previous owner. And it's titanium.
Oh yeah, titanium. It's great. It's a great little piece. It's got that blue dial. You've mixed it with this red sort of. This is like a ostrich grain, isn't it? It's meant to represent an ostrich grain.
Yeah, I mean it's only a cheap.
But it feels nice.
It just works well because of the red accents on the.
Exactly, and I love the chronograph. Like it's a great little chronograph. There we go.
Yeah, I mean everything just works perfect. You press the reset button again. And then it stops the seconds again.
Oh, cool.
And
there we go. It's a great little piece. It's obviously got the Formula One history, and you've been to Silverstone before, and you've actually raced there, right?
Yeah, we did a race day where we drove Lotuses, it was a fantastic opportunity. Yeah, met Tiff Nadell, who was previously on Top Gear.
Nice.
It was a great day.
Exactly. So there's actual history to this piece other than just the watch itself, which is really nice. Next, let's move on to one of my favorite of the quartz piece. I like the edifice, I like the Lotus, but I just love this one because it's just so fun. So what is this we're looking at right now?
So this is the dive version of the Expedition, and it's an Indiglow version. So you press button on the side and the whole face lights up. And it's just such an unusual piece from Timex that are such a from when I was a child. I remember their field watches and always wanting one, and when I saw this, I just loved the dial, loved that it was a dive watch. 200 meters,
exactly,
and it's just a great looking piece.
Yeah, it's a great dive, and you've got it on this.
It's a suede
NATO. Yeah, very very nice, and it obviously matches the blue. And you guys know blue is my favorite color, so it speaks a lot to me. It's great. All right, and let's move on to the next piece. Where all the rest of them are either automatic or manual wind. So let's move on to this harness right here. So what's the story behind this one?
Well, basically, this was a gift from yourself.
Yeah, it was.
It's a chronometer harness. It's got the. Let me just check on here.
No problem. But yeah, it's a great little piece. This one. This was part of the 4, which I said in my watch collection. I had 4 from Andy, and I gave 1 to my dad, and this is the one I gave to my dad.
And that's got the Seagull 2542 automatic movement,
which is this one right here,
and it's manual wind and chronometer, so it's in fact the most accurate of the automatics I have.
Yeah, and you've actually tested that, haven't you?
Yeah, I did a test of it, and it is spot on.
Which is crazy to think, out of all these pieces right here, Seiko, Orient, like Swatch, System 51, which is usually pretty damn accurate, that this harness, the thing that people probably will be like, oh, why you got a harness in there, is the most accurate, and you've tested it, so it says a lot, doesn't it? It says a lot. It's a great piece. It's very nice. It's on this leather strap. It's a great little piece, and I'm glad you enjoy it.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on to this piece, which, if I'm not mistaken, is the Dom watch.
Yeah.
So,
that's right.
Love this. Look at this. So cool.
So this is the Dom watch Genève that from the 1950s, military style. It's got a Fesna Felser 465 movement in it, manual wind, and it's a great little piece. I just love the red accents on the second sound.
Oh yeah, that red tip that reaches right to the end.
And just the military styling.
It's a beautiful watch.
And I've put it on a 1960s Hirsch strap from. It was actually from an old watch collector that had reconditioned the Hirsch straps. So he's softened them up.
Yeah.
So it's an original strap.
Yeah, I love this watch. I love how great that second hand is. That's running along the chapter ring around there. It's just beautiful.
And it's such a legible dial as well.
Yeah, exactly. And it's all in original condition, which is even better. It's never been polished. It's never been redialed. Completely original. Great little watch. All right, and whilst we're down here, let's move on to actually the next vintage piece that you own, like the real vintage piece. This right here is a Rotary Junior. So what's the story behind this one?
Yeah, basically I wanted something with a subdial, as I've not got one, and I saw this, and I liked, Rotary have been around for so long. This is from sort of late 30s, early 40s, and manual wind, and again it's all original condition, and I just love again the clear sort of military-esque type dial that it's been inspired by.
Exactly, it's a great little piece. It's just, there's not really much to be said about these vintage pieces because they're just so, you can see it yourself. You just look at it and you can just tell that it's such a beautiful piece. And I love the wide dial that's got an offish cream with patina. It's aging so damn well, this piece is. And it's going to look even better in another 10-20 years, without a doubt. It's just beautiful. Alright, let's move on to another quartz piece that we forgot to mention, this DigiQuartz.
The Eco Drive.
Yeah, so let's move on to this one. What is this?
Yeah, so this is the titanium Skyhawk that I bought in 2010. 2005.
I was about to say, way before that.
Yeah, 2005 in Canada. Saw it in the shop, just loved the dial, and I never had an Eco Drive, and I heard good things about them. It's got the pilot dial and bezel that can be used for calculations. And then it's got obviously the digital functions, and being titanium, it doesn't weigh anything at all.
Yeah, it's ridiculously light. Like, you look at it and it's a pretty large piece. It's not exactly small, and it just weighs nothing. It's ridiculous. It's as light as these things on the leather. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's crazy. But yeah, it is truly a beautiful watch, and this is kind of what started everything, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, my interest in sort of watches. This was my first real watch. All the others that disappeared in the sort of distant past. This was the one that I kept, and it's had a new crystal, but apart from that, still
completely original. Yeah,
and it's never had a new battery. It's still
that's the thing that just makes me go wow.
Keeping its charge. I put it in the window, and it charges up. Just by the sunlight.
Exactly, they're great. They're great watches. I sell these at work, and yeah, people either love them or they hate them. They either love the technology that's in it, or they absolutely despise it. Personally, I love the technology that's in these. I think it's absolutely incredible and so useful. And yeah, if you're gonna have some any digital watch, then this is the way to go, in my opinion. But yeah, great watch. All right, then let's move on to this piece right here. Tell us a bit more.
This is the gold tone Citizen, the
Eagle 7, yeah.
So it's the 8200 movement.
Which, for those of you wondering, is the Miyota 8200, and obviously Citizen own Miyota. They create the Miyota movements, and the 8200 is rated one of their most reliable movements, to this day.
Timekeeping is just amazing for a 70s watch. It is, and I just like the wear that the gold tone has got on it.
Yeah, it's nothing crazy where it's like completely gone, or it's actually in really good condition for a gold tone, for a gold plated watch. And yeah, it's beautiful. Citizen Eagle 7s, I've said so much about them. I love them to bits, and yeah, this is a really, really good one. You've got it on this
it's a mesh
mesh strap.
Yeah,
I think it looks good on this, though a leather would look incredible.
It would, yes, yeah. That definitely be the next move, I think.
Exactly, yeah.
Would be to get one.
But yeah, great watch. I have to say, get an Eagle 7 if you haven't already. They're so cheap, they're so cheerful, and they just keep going. They don't stop.
That's right.
All right, and let's move on to one of your real iconic divers. And if you notice, there's 3 real iconic divers right here. So let's move on to the first one. What is this?
So this is the Mako, Orient Mako. It's the first edition. Now they've brought out a new US.
Yeah, this is the first gen. It's got that old style pusher on the side, which is for the date.
Changes the date.
Yep. And I'm gonna say one thing on this. The blue is beautiful. Like, I literally have put this next to my SKX, and in terms of blue, it just completely blows out of the water. And there will be a review coming on this watch, and then also a comparison between this and the SKX. And in terms of blue, I'm going to tell you guys right now, in terms of color and aesthetics, I love this more than my SKX. And that's a big statement, but in terms of watches, we'll have to wait and see who wins.
Yeah, I mean, the movement is a great, reliable, I think it's called the 469 movement.
In-house by Orient,
in-house, yeah. Yeah, just the red accent again on the seconds hand just adds just that, you know, that nice finishing to the piece. 200 meter
exactly, and you've got it on this rubber nylon style strap.
It's sort of carbon fiber styling.
Yeah, it's very nice. And how many straps did you get with this watch again?
It was 7 altogether, which is incredible.
This watch already was cheap for the amount you bought it for. It was a great deal, and it came with 7 straps. Yeah. So ridiculous. But yeah, great watch right here. One of the iconic divers in your collection. And for those of you that haven't already noticed, there is kind of like a style, like this is a diver, this is a diver, that's a diver, that's a diver. So there's quite a few divers in here. I'm guessing you like your diving watches.
Yeah, I love the aesthetics of diving watches, and just having the confidence of going out in the in the rain. Yeah, exactly. Without the thing, with a movement that's going to corrode just by a drop of water. Exactly. It's great.
Alright, and let's move on to the most recent piece of the collection. This is such a cool Seiko 5. Do you remember the reference for it? Or is that what you're finding right now?
I'm just checking now. Sorry.
Yeah.
This one is...
No worries. It's a long ass reference number anyway. It's just a Seiko 5 field watch. You guys can see by the dial the aesthetic touch right there. You got the 12-hour. You've got the 1 to 12 on the inside, and then you've got the 5 to 55 markers around the outside. It's a great little watch with the red seconds hand right there. It does have a display case back showcasing that 4R36, which is just
the actual...
not 4R, 7S26. Yeah. 7S36. 26, yeah. That one. The one that's in my SKX, that movement. Yeah. Great reliable movement. What are your thoughts on it now? Because you've had it for a little while.
Yeah, I mean, I just love it. It's I always wanted a field watch. When I was a kid, I always wanted the Timex version.
Yeah, there's a Timex very similar to this, isn't it?
As field watches go, it's for a full automatic piece, you can't get a better value proposition. It's and I just love the way that they've sandblasted
it's
the
beautiful.
case.
I thought it was titanium the first time I saw it because of how it looks. It's just, it's a beautiful watch, and I don't think you can go wrong with a Seiko 5 like this or like the vintage one I've got. Like, Seiko 5s are brilliant as well. I'd advise them just as heavily as I advise Eagle 7s, without a doubt. It's just a shame they don't make the Eagle 7s anymore.
That's right.
Let's move on to the next piece, which is another really cool piece, one of my favourites in the collection. Now, what is this?
So this is the Orient. I believe they used to call them the Crystal.
Now commonly, now commonly referred to as the 3-star or Tri-star if you search them on eBay. Yeah.
And I mean, what drew me to this was that dial with the unusual date and day arrangement. I've not seen anything like it now, since. I just really love the whole aesthetic of the piece.
Yeah, it's a beautiful watch, and again, that date complication, or the day complication either, it has a little red disc that goes around and changes each day. As you can see, there's a red mark in the Friday, and all the rest of them are empty right now, which means obviously it's a Friday. And it goes around the whole way around through all the days, as obvious as that is, and the date is at the bottom at 6 o'clock. It's a beautiful arrangement, and yeah, it's just a really cool complication that turns a very, I'd say, ordinary watch into something that's really, really cool when you look closely. And that's why I love this piece so much. It's like a stealth piece, it's just, it looks like a normal watch on the wrist, but when you look closely, there's so much going on that it just makes it really interesting. Plus it's got a sunburst dial. Beautiful. Yes. Yeah. All right then, let's move on to the next vintage piece. So we've got no, that isn't vintage, is it?
No, that's from the 90s.
But it's not vintage, but it's got a bit of age. Yeah. And now we're moving on to definitely a vintage piece. Yep. Now, what is this?
So this is the Seahorse Seiko Diashock, one of the first Seiko waterproof manual watches that they produced. Way back in January 1961. So 1961. It's one of the first iterations of this version. They did bring out soon afterwards a date and automatic version. This one has got the 66 caliber movement in it, which again was a very early movement, and again it had the Diashock system. And I just love the patina and just the way that it's finished. It's an elegant piece.
It's beautiful. It really is beautiful, and it's very low profile. It's got this lovely bracelet on, which is obviously not exactly aged too well with the sizing and stuff. It's warped a little, but that's bound to happen for a piece for this age. And the fact that it's still got the original bracelet is incredible in itself. So yeah, beautiful piece. I just imagine this on like a black leather strap, and just with a suit, it just looked great. It really would. But yeah, let's move on to the next piece, which is one I'm still yet to review, and I will review at some point. And people have suggested I get one of these for my collection. Now, what is this?
So this is the Vostok Scuba Doob, which basically is their military dive watch, 200 meter dive watch, automatic movement, 34 dual movement in it, and it's a great looking piece. I just love the dial.
That with sunburst the scuba blue, on it. Yeah, it's beautiful.
That sort of aqua blue.
It's meant to imitate the ocean, as obviously you go deeper down, the darker it gets.
Yeah, there's so many iterations now. This one is actually from 2001, and it was sitting in his drawer for 10 years before I bought it, and he just wound it up, and it started working straight away.
That's crazy.
They're just bulletproof.
Great watches. I will be making a review and voicing my opinions on it. There's a few things I don't like about them, but in terms of aesthetics, they are absolutely beautiful. And that dial is just, being a fan of blue, that is beautiful. So let's just move on to the next watch, which is a vintage Seiko 5. Kind of similar to the one I had, but not quite.
Yeah, that's right. It's got the sort of the checker board display. I just love the dial on it. I think for a Seiko 5 from the 70s.
It's in great condition.
I think it was 1979, so it's right near the end of the 70s, and it's just again a very elegant piece that wouldn't be out of place with a suit or
no, definitely not. Casual. Definitely not. And with that dial as well, most lights it looks black, but then if you catch the light correctly, it just does that beautiful checkered pattern on the dial, which just adds a whole nother depth to the watch. And mine had a similar thing with stripes.
Yeah.
Centering out from the midpoint with 4 sections, so 1, 2, 3, 4 with like stripes. Yeah. It was beautiful as well, and I wish I never got rid of it, but yeah, this is just beautiful as well. Absolutely incredible. All right, and let's move on to the most funkiest piece in your collection that is going to causes the most controversy in terms of what it is, but I love it. So what is it?
Yeah. So this is the System 51, the Swatch System 51, the automatic version, and 51 piece movement in it, completely manufactured by machine, and hermetically sealed, and it's just a quirky piece. The technology that's involved in creating it, I just loved, and just had to get one.
Yeah, they're great watches, and isn't it something like a 70-hour power reserve as well?
90 hours.
90
yeah.
hour.
You know, it's just incredible to think that they could cram that amount of technology in 51 pieces.
It's beautiful, isn't it? It's just incredible. You know, it might not be horology and like the next big thing and the craziness of what watchmaking can do, but it definitely is proving that things are going to change, and things are already changing. And yeah, it's just showing what the future could hold. And I like this piece. I like it a lot, and I do think I'll probably get a System 51 at some point down the line. Maybe the Orient range, because I really like that. But yeah, great piece nonetheless, and it adds that pop of colour into the collection that's just so out there, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know, everything else is obviously there's the pops colours with the blue and the red, but this is just like a bit crazy, isn't it, in terms of what it is. Alright then, now on to the final piece, that orange thing at the back, that orange monster. What is it? Oh, did he just give it away? Here it is. What is this?
So this is the Seiko Orange Monster from 1991.
1991. First gen monster. It's got the old style baton, which they've brought back in the Gen 3, the markers. Gen 2 had the shark teeth, as they called it. It's got the 7S26 in.
Yep.
Yeah, and you've got it on this orange strap from Watch Gecko, which just, in my opinion, this like complements the watch so much. Now, I love the watch, don't get me wrong. I've reviewed it and I've compared it, but I'm just not a huge fan of the orange. But putting it on this orange strap literally makes me love it so much, because it just matches it so well. But what do you have to say about this piece?
Yeah, I mean, it is my favourite piece out of all of the watches I own. It's just everything that I want in a watch. That's durability, and you know, it's got the heritage of the Seiko divers, and you know, it's so resilient. You know, it's a real workhorse of a watch, and I just love it.
Yeah, it's a great little piece. It really, really is. So that is your collection. Now, obviously, it's missing the 7A38. Is there anything you want to say about that?
Yeah, I mean the technology, you know, for Seiko to create the mechanical quartz movement, you know, and the hundredth of a second chronograph, which again was one of the first in the chronograph world, you know, and it started a whole new venture for Seiko, and you know, it was
not only for Seiko but for the world, really. The world of watchmaking and many different brands. Yeah, it really has shown a lot, and it's a beautiful watch. So you said the monster's your favourite piece. I'm gonna ask you some tricky questions.
Okay.
If you had to be honest, what would be the one piece, if you had to get rid of, you'd get rid of it? Yeah, there we go. That's a tricky one.
I think the Parnis probably.
Yeah, I can't blame you for that.
No offense.
No, obviously,
you know,
obviously not.
It was a gift. So,
yeah, obviously,
you know.
obviously. I think out of all of them, I'd have to agree it would be the Parnis. And from the previous collection, the only thing that's not in here is that Seiko. I can't remember what it was called. The Lord, that's it. Yeah. Lord Matic. Was it Lord Matic?
Yeah, the Lord, yeah.
That's the only piece that's not in the collection from last time, which just shows my dad buys pieces he actually enjoys. If out of that time only one piece is gone, and in my collection only one piece is still with me, it just shows the difference in buying styles. But I'm just going to quickly change the position, and we're going to go back to the normal. So I hope you guys enjoyed that right there. You know, just a quick look at my dad's collection, how it's changed. So the next thing to change will be an Omega in there, you reckon?
Well, yeah, in the future, you know, it's going to take a while, but you know,
it's going to be worth it.
That's what I want to collect, and yeah, I'm just not going to be tempted, even though there are just so many pieces that you know, that you could buy for similar kinds of money. That,
that's what I'm interested in seeing. You know, once you start getting closer to that price range and watching you hold off from buying them other pieces, I think it's going to be the fun thing, and seeing your face once you finally get that Omega is going to be something special. And I think we might have to make a series out of it once it gets closer. The hunt for the man on the moon or something like that. We start a series together we go around to the different shops. Maybe take a trip to London to that place.
Yeah, especially the specialist place in London. It's brilliant.
So if you guys would like to see that close to the time, it probably won't be for a few years yet, maybe.
Oh no, it's going to be a long while.
So once the time comes, we'll have to make a series out of it, which would be absolutely awesome. So the only thing to change is going to be an Omega Man on the Moon in the collection in the future. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys want to leave your comments on my dad's collection down below, feel free, but just be aware, if you don't like it, we don't really care, to be honest. So that's how it goes with us. But yeah, if you want to make any suggestions, feel free, and my dad will probably reply. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you for featuring on the Kibble channel again.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity.
No problem. And we'll see you again next time, guys. Take care and peace out.